Good morning, friends, family, and folks. You can see it's a really beautiful sunny morning in the bush. And the bush reminds me of my family. My father was a sniper in the Second World War, and he was with the Hasty Peas, Hastings and Prince Edward County Regiment. And, we don't condone violence, of course, in our hearts, but, and we've got such sadness and war in the world right now, but he was a big part of liberating us. And he was such a talented, gifted, peaceful, loving man who had to work outside his own values in order to save children and all of us. And what I'm here to say is I come from a big family, and I couldn't be more thankful. I choke up just saying it to you. I couldn't be more thankful for the people that have surrounded me. And we had a good conversation last night with a counselor who's in our family about the many young women that she counsels that don't seem to understand that they have agency over their own bodies from a sexuality standpoint, and that they don't feel empowered to say no when they feel no at certain stages of encounters and so on. And for me, I know the reason why I was able to have agency over myself. And the reason is because I was surrounded by really good people who supported me. And I had a father and a mother who stuck by me and taught me about life. They taught me that it is better to give than it is to receive. From a big family, we took homemade wild strawberry preserves out of the cellar to give to other people who were hungry. I'm not sounding like we're martyrs. We received food when we were hungry from people. That's why we gave it to others when we had it. So, it's all about give and take in this world. But what I'm here to say today is a really sad subject, and that is my niece, who is educated and has found herself in a really wonderful position that she absolutely loves to help people. And she is the salt of the earth. And I know she's my niece, and I can go on, and she's got her faults, and I think she's perfect. But that's what love does, is it covers a multitude of sins and wrongdoings. And I'm probably biased when I talk about her, but honestly, she's just about as close to perfection as a person can get. And in my eyes. And there she is. And someone comes in and says, "And who are you? Are you from around here?" We live in a small rural area in Ontario. And she says, "Yeah, I'm so-and-so." And I won't use names, just as my niece did not use names. She never would last night. But the person says to her about our family, "Oh, you're from that big family." She says, "Oh, so you're one of the good ones." Let that rest on your ears, right? You're one of the good ones. So this person doesn't seem to understand, right? She's ignorant. And I want you to know that my niece approached it with curiosity. And she said, "Oh, what do you know that I don't know," right? And because apparently she knows something about our family that we don't know, because there ain't no good and bad in my family. And our family is the citizens of the earth. Our family is nature. Our family is humanity. We are all humans. And we have been prejudged. Countless times people have said right to my face similar things. And here we are, next generation, and it's still happening, right? So she says, "Oh," and the woman says, "Well, you know." And no, we don't know. Maybe you can enlighten us, because you seem to know something about us we don't, right? And I'm just here to say there's a lot more gray in the world, and anybody past the age of 18 who's paying attention probably understands that in their core, because none of us are good and none of us are bad. We all do good things and we all do bad things. I don't think there's an exception to that. We're human. And people who have troubles are troubled people. They're not bad people. And I feel my parents taught me love. And that's the most important thing to learn. Because at the end of the day, nothing else matters, number one. Number two, they taught me to reduce, reuse, and recycle and repurpose long before it was fashionable. They taught me that because it's the right thing to do. They taught me when you go into nature, you take some, you leave some. Not because it was right or wrong, particularly. I shouldn't say right or wrong. They taught me that because it's the right thing to do. You leave some for the next person. You take all the raspberries. You don't take all the blackberries. You leave some for other people or other animals. You take some and you leave some. Right from a young child, I taught my children that. Put your hand on top of their hand. Take some, leave some. There's 3 berries. You might take 2. You got a big family. You leave 1 more. And if nothing else, you leave it for the seed, for the next generation. Leeks are plentiful here. Trees are plentiful here. But guess what? We never thought we'd run out of trees. Never thought we'd run out of leeks. We're running out of leeks, right? You got to leave some seed, people. Anyway, there's no bad seed and there's no good seed. And this person, when I heard this last night, that this was said to my niece, I can't tell you how it hurts me to my core. It is my brothers and sisters that taught me I had agency over myself. It is my brothers and sisters that taught me how to love other people, and my parents who taught them. And apparently that's bad people. Wow, right? Wow. This person is ignorant, and I don't mean that in the common use of that word. I mean it by its true natural meaning, and that is she does not know. Jesus said, forgive them for they do not know. That's the problem, is she doesn't even know her own spirit. That person doesn't even know her own spirit, sadly. Someone didn't teach her that she has a spirit inside of her, and when she speaks that way, she severs it. Because you cannot speak that way about people without hurting yourself. And don't get me wrong, I've spoken badly about people too. But I never feel good about it. And the reason we don't feel good about it is because it's wrong, it doesn't feel good, and it hurts ourselves. What can happen to someone else can happen to you. And I had someone come into my clinic last week and talk about my deceased brother who had big blue eyes and a big smile and a joyful conversation with many people. And he did lots of things that perhaps weren't correct too, just like the rest of us. But she talked about how much she enjoyed him in high school and how her peers said, why are you talking to him? Because he wasn't in the right group. He didn't wear the right clothes. He wasn't in the right class. Maybe he didn't excel academically as much as she did. So you don't talk to those people, right? How many years later do I have her saying that to me? And he's deceased off this earth. And you know, I've had really difficult conversations with my family where the consequences were not the intended outcome. And they were difficult to the core. And it would break up a lot of people. And I can tell you, in that family, we get up, we hug each other and love each other more. And I'm not bragging about that. That was given to us by our parents. That was given to me. That was given to them. And I think it's sad that other people think those people are the bad people. So I'm really asking you from the bottom of my heart, will you share this today? Because people need to hear these messages. And I don't often share them publicly. In fact, I don't know if I ever have. I share them with my close friends. But I'm bearing myself to share this publicly because there has got to be a time when we learn to love our neighbor. Myself, let me start with me, because I need to love this person who is ignorant, because she way, way, way worse off than we are. And I can tell you that is exactly what my older brothers and sisters would say to me. They'd say, oh, she's hurting, Susie. Clearly, if she's got to reach out and slash at us, then she's hurting, right? Hurt people hurt people. Please share this so that people understand how it hurts to hear such things. And don't get me wrong, I've heard it from teachers. I've heard it from physicians when I was grieving over my mother's dying body. I've heard it from highly educated people who are there to construct and form our society. And in fact, that's the people I hear it the most from. Not the people like us, because they know what it's like to be hurt like that. Please share this. Amen.